Okay, all right, so we'll just wait till a couple of you manage to get on board, and then we can go. All right, I know the lighting is a bit crap, early morning here, and the sun is playing havoc, so forgive me for the lighting. Yeah, not much I can do about that. At least it's sunny and not raining, so. Okay, so those of you who have made it to the live, not everybody is coming. Less than half of you are actually in the group for this live video, so we're going halfway. So what we're going to be doing is basically discussing ascension, and ascension, as we know, is the #1 way of life, and in order to move forward, you have to be able to move forward consciously. Otherwise you're just in a repeating cycle, and you don't get things done. Things just keep going round and round in circles, much like I probably will be today. Okay, I'm sorry about that. When I start talking about ascension and all, I tend to start rambling, and yeah, this is, you all know me by now, so you've seen my videos and you've seen me just ramble like I'm doing now. Okay, so we'll get on with it. So good morning, everybody, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. I'm absolutely thrilled that you could all make it, and you've all entrusted me to give you knowledge and information regarding ascension, and yeah, it's just an amazing thing, and I really do appreciate all the love and support that everybody has shown, and right back to you. So thank you so much. You've no idea how hard this journey's been, and to have such support is incredible, and I'm very humbled by your support. So again, thank you. So there's a couple of topics I want to talk about today. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to start with the basics, okay, the basic topics, and it will be in detail, so don't worry if you actually know about ascension. There's some things in here that you may not know, or maybe just that extra piece to the puzzle that you've been trying to figure out, and maybe just a different perspective. And if you're new to your ascension journey, then yeah, you better keep an open mind, because this is going to, to open your mind a lot. And this video, it's going to be in 2 parts. So we'll do the first hour, then we'll stop and we'll have a 5-minute break, and I'll cut off the video, and then we'll come back 5 minutes later. That's so you can get a drink, you can go to the toilet, you can tend to kids, pets, whatever you need, okay, so you don't miss anything. And then we'll get going again. Now, both parts, part 1 and 2 of this video, will be uploaded to YouTube, and I know many of you didn't receive emails. I don't know what happened there. I sent emails, several emails, to every single email that was on a booking form. So everybody received or was sent multiple emails. Don't know what's going on there. But I will send everybody the link to, both links to the 2 parts of the YouTube that I will upload this on YouTube. And don't worry, it will only be private, so you won't be able to access it without the link. Okay, so we'll sort that out. That'll be uploaded over the next 24-48 hours, and then I'll start sending emails. I can only send so many a day because of my settings on my email account. I don't know how to change it. So we'll just do the best we can. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to talk about each point, each topic, and then I will pause and I will go back through the comments, okay, and then if there's any comments about that topic, we will discuss that, and then I'll move on to the next topic. Okay, so enough rambling. Okay, I just had to do that bit of housekeeping. Okay, so the very first thing, and we need to understand why we're actually here, what it is we're actually doing, and it's ascension. Now, many people don't really understand what ascension actually is, and what it is it is the journey of rediscovering your true self. Okay, it's not about raising your vibration, it's not about becoming somebody, it's about returning to your true self. And how we do this is we start to look at our beliefs. Now, when we say exit the matrix, what we're actually talking about is getting away from the mind programming. We're talking about moving away from how society has taught us to behave, taught us who we should be, what we should wear, what we should like, what we should dislike, how we should think. Okay, so journeying, if that's even a word, journeying back to your true self is ascension. So every single person, every single being is born enlightened. You know what I mean. Enlightened, not enlightened. Forget it, you know what I mean. Every single being is born enlightened. And as we grow up and, you know, our parents teach us things, they teach us their beliefs. School teaches their beliefs and what they want us to know. Your work, university, your jobs, your employers, your friends, everybody teaches you what they think you need to know. And that all has a major impact on who we are and who we think we are and our behavior and our thoughts and our beliefs. Many people are only religious because their parents were. Many only found God because their parents or their friends and family found God. It's not who you are, because you are a divine being that has come into this physical life, and you're an individual. Yes, you are part of the collective, but you come with your own ideas, with your own understanding, and with your own likes, your own dislikes, your own wants, your own needs, etc., etc. So when we want to go back to ascension, what we have to do is look at all those thoughts and beliefs, and does that serve my purpose? We need to be thinking, does that serve my purpose? Is that relevant to me? Do I resonate with that? Is that something that I want to be part of in my life? And if it isn't, then we need to let it go, because it's not who you are. If something doesn't resonate to you, it's not who you are. It's who you think you are and who people expect you to be. Okay, it doesn't make you who you are. So I'm just going to be using religion a little bit because it is very well known. And I'm not going to, don't worry, I'm not going to degrade anyone's religious beliefs. I'm just going to talk about how the consciousness and mentality differs from who you think you are and what you're told to believe, rather than exploring yourself. Okay, so when we look at religion as a belief system, and that's what it is a belief system. If you're born to religious parents and it resonates with you, then that is the experience you've chosen to partake in. If you are born into a religious family and it doesn't feel right, that you feel that there's more to life and not just all there is, etc., then religion is not for you. So that's when people start to walk away from such belief systems. They're discovering more of who they really are and less of who society has told them to be. Okay, so that is ascension. It's not going to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7D. You're already, everybody's born into this environment in a 5D vibration. It is your choices, society's expectations, your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings that bring you down through the vibration levels. It's not that you have to rise, it's that you have to let go of what no longer serves you. And that's a really important factor, really important. So many misunderstand it and think that it's actually moving up through the vibrations, when in fact it's getting rid of the lower vibrations because you're already there. Okay, so what is ascension? It is basically a journey of self-discovery, of rediscovering yourself. Okay, so I'll just go through if there's any questions, so just pause with me for a second. I know I'm squinting, it's hard to see the screen with the sunlight. Okay, but at least it's not raining. It's a beautiful, absolutely stunning day here in Sydney. Okay, so there's no questions about that. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty basic. Remember, if it's complicated, it's from ego. You can only understand something from your vibrational frequency. So if there's something that I'm talking about today that you don't understand and doesn't make sense, it's perhaps because you're not quite ready for that deeper knowledge. Okay, and if it seems too basic and you feel it and you know that you know it and you absolutely feel it, then you're a little further along on your journey, and it's all good. Nobody's better than anyone else. We're all heading in the same we're all trying to head in the same direction. Okay, and there's no competition, absolutely no competition. So if you're feeling that you know all this and this is normal for you, then fantastic, you're a little bit further along. If you feel, well, it's way over my head, I have no idea, don't worry, you'll get there. Okay, it's all about taking one foot in front of the other, just one step in front of the other. Okay, if you hear a crunching noise, it's my plastic bag that's waving around in the breeze. It's not the internet. Okay, the next important thing along our ascension journey is to understand what are dimensions and what are densities, and what is the actual difference between dimension and density. Okay, now when we talk about, in general, on the ascension process, we talk about 3, 4, 5D. Okay, we're talking about dimensions, which is a vibrational frequency of consciousness. Okay, so it's all about tuning in to a slightly higher frequency, vibrational frequency, to gain more information, to gain more clarity and understanding. And as you go up through the higher frequencies, so as you move from 3D to 4D, what you're actually doing is 3D. Okay, let's just start at what are 3, 4, and 5D. I think that might be better. Okay, so 3D is what the majority of humanity is in right now. Fear, manipulation, control, service to self, and less service to others. It is listening to mainstream. It is being a bully. It is not thinking for yourself. It is thinking that I am educated with university degrees, that therefore I'm better than someone who is not. It's ego. Now, even the 12th dimensional beings have huge amounts of ego. Huge amounts of ego. Why? Because ego is simply... Of course I lost my thought. Thank you, Crow. There you go. Yep, he's telling us off. He's saying hello. Ego is simply identification of self. Okay, so everybody has ego. So even in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 D dimension, you're going to get people with ego. That's just fact. Okay, it is the levels of ego that determines the vibration. So 3D, fear, service to self, indoctrination, bullying, manipulation, all that sort of thing. What is 4D? Now 4D is less talked about. Many spiritualists want to jump from 3 to 5D, and they don't talk about 4D because they don't want to be in the transition phase. And the transition phase is 4D, and that is moving away from service to self to service to others. It is moving away from fear. It is moving away from listening to the mainstream media. It is listening and tuning in to your higher self more. It is becoming more of who you are and more in tune with your surroundings. It is finding more love and compassion within yourself. It is learning to accept those who have differing opinions and ideas to you and beliefs. It is becoming more of who you are. Okay, so 4D is the transition phase, and you cannot jump from 3D to 5D without going through 4D. Just many people don't talk about 4D because they don't want to admit they're in the transition phase. Now, you can always go from 3D to 4D, 3D to 4D, 3D to 4D, many times during the day, many times. It is simply a transition, and the more time you spend in 4D, the less time you spend in 3D. Okay, now while you're in 4D, you will have periods of 5D. Now, what is 5D? It is love, compassion. It is service to others. It is also setting boundaries so people don't take advantage of you. That is an extremely important point. It is more being in tune with your higher self. It is taking your intuition to a whole nother level and listening. It is trusting that the universe knows exactly what it's doing, and that even if, I'll use my old analogy, even if someone is pointing a gun to your head, you know that everything will work out just perfect. If you are meant to die, you will be, and that is perfect. If you are going to live, but maybe have injuries, then there's a reason why, and that is perfect. Okay, so 5D is following your intuition with love and compassion. If it's also acknowledging that your worst enemies are your best teachers, are your best friends. Okay, so it's really important to understand the difference. As you go up through the vibrations in the dimensions, you will get closer and closer to your higher self, to other dimensional beings, to your spirit guides, to past loved ones. They'll become more and more visible. You'll feel them more, you'll be more in tune with your spiritual senses, your psychic ability. You'll have more dreams, you will more synchronicities, okay, because you're following your higher self, you're following your spirit guidance, okay, and that's basically what 5D is. One thing that I use a lot to work on my triggers and to work on my compassion and understanding and acceptance is social media. Now, this is something that you can all do, and I recommend everybody does it. You all have social media, or you wouldn't be on this video right now. Okay, so use social media to your advantage. So go onto posts and go onto things that you don't agree with. Read through the comments, and you will notice yourself getting triggered by some of the comments and by some of the energy. That is the perfect opportunity for you to learn how to control your energy, how to control your reactions. Because if you don't learn to control your mind and your feelings and emotions, then ascending through the vibrations, so returning to your true self, is going to be hindered. Because if you can't control your mind and emotions and feelings, what you're going to be doing is, when your mind starts expanding, so when your consciousness starts expanding, you're actually going to find that you're being blocked. Okay, so you're going to find that you're going to be spending more time in judgment and less time in love and compassion. So always keep an open mind and understand the true essence of a spiritual or ascending journey is understanding and acceptance that you are on your own journey. Yes, you walk it with many others, but you also walk it with many more who are not walking it with you. So even though you may be on the same path, your path may be different, will always be different. No one's path is the same as mine, and no one's path is the same as yours. We may be walking the path together, but our journeys are very, very different. Okay, very different. So it is acceptance and understanding that truly gets you back into the 5D. I don't agree with sorry, I'm looking around. There's lots of, a massive kangaroo just went past me just before we started, and there's birds and chickens and waterfowls and all sorts hanging around. It's really, really busy, very early in the morning, so they're still getting back to bed and stuff, and they're quite distracting. Nice, then welcome, but yes, they are distracting, as you can hear that one having a go. So we really need to get rid of all the judgment. We are not born judgmental beings. We are not born sinners. We are not born with things we have to get rid of. You know, we're born for an experience that we have all agreed on, individually and collective. And that's what we need to focus on and work on. Once you can do that and control your mind and thoughts, and control your mind and thoughts about everybody else has their own experience and their own reality and their own ideas, then life becomes so much more peaceful. Okay, so it's really easy to go from 3 to 4 to 5D. Now when you are in 4D, you will have a lot of moments in 5D. When you are in 5D, you will go back and forward 3, 4 and 5D. You will have moments of that. I know I do. You all will. It's just part of the journey. Because humans are born in a third dimensional environment, it does bring us down, and it is hard because we are born in an environment where about 85 to 90% of the beings are 3D. And as we're moving forward, more and more is starting to get rid of who they no longer think they are, and returning to their true self. So the percentage is slowly rising, and unfortunately it's slowly rising, but it is getting there. Okay, so less judgment, or being non-judgmental against others, being non-judgmental about others' beliefs is really, really important. okay, especially in this environment where it's so easy to get hooked in to a topic or a dispute or something. Somebody may say something and you'll be quite triggered, and you need to look at why you're triggered. What about that person's words or how they said it? Did it actually why it made you feel that way? And what you'll actually find is most of the time you feel triggered and annoyed or upset at that person saying it. It's not what they said, it's who said it. And that can hurt because we have expectations on other people, and it is our own expectations that fail us. So if we don't expect anything of anybody else, then you know that they will never fail our expectations. It is always our expectations on others that cause our problems. So when we are triggered and it has nothing to do with the person and something to do with what they said, look at the beliefs you have as to what makes you feel upset about what they said. There is always a small part of you, no matter how small or big, that kind of believes what they say to be true, and that's the belief you need to look at. So it is really going deeper, not just so-and-so said this and I feel bad because I just feel bad. It's looking at why you feel bad. Okay, it's understanding where the emotion comes from, and it's always because there is a slight belief there that what they're actually saying is true. Okay, now densities are very different. Okay, densities are extremely important when we're talking 3, 4 and 5D. Okay, so when you have densities, we're talking about the physical side of a physical life. So we're talking about the physical body, how dense it is. Okay, so we are in a 3rd density. So consciously, the majority, we are in a 3rd dimensional consciousness, in a 3rd density physical life, illusion, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now as you raise your consciousness, okay, so beyond 5D, so the higher 5-dimensional consciousness, then your physical body starts to move up through the densities. Now, the densities, when we talk about, so for example, if you are full 5D, full love and compassion, which would be very hard to find someone in full 5D here on Earth that is not an ET. Okay, simply because of the environment. Okay, so if you are full 5th dimensional consciousness, your body is moving into 4th density. Okay, so your body is becoming lighter. So as you go through the higher densities, so 4, 5, 6 density, it actually gets lighter, not heavier. Okay, so it doesn't get more dense, it gets more light. So 1st density would be literally rock solid. 2nd density would be a little bit more fluid. 3rd density is us. 4th density, you have more access to your spiritual abilities. You have not just more access, you actually get to use them more. So this is when telepathy really comes into it. This is where instant manifestation can come into it. 4th density is also where you can manipulate energy. So you would be able to create a cup or a glass or a plate or whatever, literally out of thin air, literally. Okay, because you're able to have access to the universal energy needed to be able to do that. So you don't have a 4th density body if you are any less than full 5th dimensional consciousness. I'm sending myself around the twist. Okay, so then we have the 4th density in the physical sense. 5th density is where they can start opening portals. Okay, without the use of technology. 3rd and 4th density, you can open a portal with the use of technology. 5th density, you can just portal in and out whenever you like, wherever you like, in whatever universe, etc., etc. Doesn't matter where. This is where you can start to create physical bodies and larger things without the need for technology, just by using your consciousness. Fifth density is where consciousness controlled technology, where you can fly a ship simply by thinking about it, okay, where you want to go or what you want to do, because it is connected to your consciousness, okay. And then we go into sixth density. Now this is where shape-shifting, this is where you can take a full 8-foot being, whatever the race may be, and they can turn themselves into a bird, you know, which is like these crows that's constantly going, and ducks. Without technology, they control your mind. They can put thoughts in your head without you even realizing it. They can manipulate your thoughts and your journey and your actions. I'll give you a quick example. When I used to horse ride and compete, one particular horse I had, he was a chestnut thoroughbred straight off the racetrack, and it took me years to get him safe to ride and compete. And he was a really, really competitive horse, but very, very unpredictable. And he was quite a dangerous horse to ride. And every time I got on him, these sixth density beings used to ride the horse with me. So I would be channeling them the whole time, and I wasn't even aware of it. Only when I started my spiritual journey did I realize, hang on, I'm not alone riding this horse. And then I look back on everything that, every time I rode this horse, and I felt different to every other horse that I rode. And what it was is because he was quite a dangerous horse to ride, they were tuning into his mind and body and energy, and by them using my body to control the horse would stop any nasty stuff before it actually happened. So they were controlling him as well as me, so that we would both remain safe. Okay, so they have the absolute ability to do that. When you think of abductions, when people say they, for example, the greys stare into your eyes and, you know, they control your mind, this is what these beings do. Now they can do that from the fourth density, but as they go through the fifth and the sixth density, it actually becomes so much easier. And most of the time you don't even know that it's your thoughts or not. Okay, you just go, I don't know. I literally don't know. And it's quite hard to decipher your thoughts from what they're influencing your thoughts with. Okay, so we don't really talk much about densities, but we do need to know the difference. So 3, 4, 5D of what we normally talk about is consciousness. 3, 4, and 5D density is referring to the physical. Okay, so yes, you can go through 3, 4, and 5 back and forth many times a day. Can you stay in one density? You can stay fully in 3D, that's your choice. 4D is a transition. Okay, so you're not really going to stay there. Okay, you're always going to be transitioning. Can you stay in 5D? In the earth environment, it is very hard to 100% remain in 5D. Very hard. It is nearly impossible, especially with the times that's going on. Okay, so that's really, really hard to stay in 5D. Now 6D, again, is a transition phase from 5 to 7. Okay, so every second dimensional consciousness is a transition. Okay, so if you are triggered this morning and you're beating yourself up over it, and this afternoon you feel absolutely amazing, that's just the transition phase. The more time you spend in the higher dimensional frequencies, the less time you will spend in transition in the lower. Okay, so it's more about focusing on one vibrational frequency and less time in the other. But don't beat yourself up when you go back and forth. Okay, don't beat yourself up. If the screen is freezing, I'm so sorry. There is absolutely nothing I can do about it. We might actually have a bit of interference from some other powers. They have known about this workshop for quite some time. Okay, and it's quite empowering to know that they don't want you to talk about stuff. I find it funny. Okay, so what is consciousness? and your perception creates your reality. Okay, so consciousness is your connection to the universe. It's the information that the universe has. We have one consciousness for existence itself. There's not, you're not some kind of consciousness, and I'm not some other consciousness. It is one consciousness for the whole existence. Now that doesn't mean just this universe. It means everything in existence to ever have existed is the one consciousness. You can almost call it God. I'd like to call it source. I don't like the term God because of the reference people have with it, but source, consciousness, it is all the same. Consciousness is creation. Okay, if you don't have consciousness, you can't create. Okay, so what is it? It's thoughts, it's knowledge, it's experience, it's information. Okay, that's consciousness. How do we use it? Very simple. Control your thoughts. Choose your thoughts. Okay, remember, physical life is just an illusion. It is all mental. Well, it's about 90 to 95% mental, physical life, and only 5% physical. Okay, so control your thoughts. The mind is like a computer program. You can change it. You can reprogram it at any time. It takes 30 days to reprogram the mind forever, completely. So use your time with your thoughts and your mind wisely. If something doesn't resonate with you, then don't go there, okay? Or get rid of it. If you are hanging around with people who just want to talk about Oprah Winfrey and Bill Gates and the major thing that's happened in the last 2 years. Sorry, I can't say certain things on this platform or many other platforms because we'll be stopped. So I have to be a little careful with my words. And, you know, you have to use it wisely. If it doesn't resonate, then it's not for you. So get rid of it. If you're hanging around people that do believe in that, you don't need to hang around them as much, if at all. Okay, you don't need to hang on to friends just because you're loyal to them. You're on your journey of self-discovery. You're on your path. People come into our life for all sorts of different reasons. It doesn't mean you have to stay there when they no longer are in alignment with you. Okay, so don't worry about it. Now, with consciousness and living a better life, okay, it is always your perception of situations, people, events, and knowledge that creates your reality, how you experience it. Now, we cannot, absolutely cannot change situations, okay? We can't change them. They're situations, they happen. Sometimes shit happens. There's nothing we can do about it. What you can do about it is look at how you deal with that. Look at your beliefs about the situation. Okay, I'll give you an example, and I'm going to use me because it's close to home, literally. So I'm homeless, and I have been for a year. Okay, I have been homeless for a year. I've lived in 3 different places, none of which are any kind of suitability for doing energy work, spiritual work. Very, very extremely negative environments, for a whole year. And I was like, oh my God, how can I do this? When I do my meditation, I'm sitting in the bathroom next to the toilet. Not exactly a safe place or a decent place to do it, but that's what I have, so that's what I use. If I was to look at my situation in a negative light, we would not be here today. I would not be doing this workshop today. If I was to look at it in a negative light, I would be crying, I would be panicking, I would be angry with the universe, I would be cursing everybody into infinity. Okay? If you look at it being in such a negative environment and being homeless, and we can't do anything about it. We literally can't. We're blocked at every angle we go, every turn. Looking at it in a positive light, I have grown so much. I have gained skills that I could never have gained if I was in a safe, nice environment. I've learned to deal with people in close proximity 24 hours a day that I literally cannot stand to be anywhere near them. Yes, I'm talking about my family. if I look at it in a positive light, it has given me the opportunity to see what really matters, to see who really matters in my life and who I want in my life and who I would prefer not to be in my life. It has given me the opportunity to see that people in your life are there for a reason. They can be there for a split second. They can be there for your whole life. Some are there to teach you, some are there to trigger you, some are there to love you, some are there to be compassionate and help you. But looking at it in a negative way gains nothing. And what happens? The cycle repeats. The experience will only ever keep repeating while you're looking at things in a negative light. If you're looking at them positively, you take away every single thing available to you that opportunity presents. And therefore, you've learned, you've gained the experience. There is no need to continue or revisit that particular type of experience, because what is the point? It doesn't serve you, so why experience it? Okay, so looking at life and physical reality from a conscious point of view, from a mental point of view, makes the physical life so much easier. It really does. It makes it really, really easy to deal with. And where we go wrong is, I'm in a car accident. My whole world is turned upside down because I did not get to that meeting. Pardon me. The car accident stopped me from picking up my kids from school. Okay, great. The car accident stopped you from picking up your kids from school. Your child, while waiting, had a great talk with a teacher and went through some problems that they have. Now they're doing better in school. Brilliant. That car accident, your child would never have been able to do that if that car accident did not happen. Okay? If you didn't get to that appointment because of that car accident, you probably would not have got the job, and you probably would have walked away anyway. So Spirit has saved you from that. Okay, so when we come to physical reality, we have to look at it from a mental perspective. And we always have to try and find the positive in it. And it's really hard when it's a real difficult situation to find the positive. But if you look hard enough, you will find it everywhere you turn. And this is so fitting with people. When you're dealing with people and being triggered and such, it is so fitting. I had a discussion yesterday, and I'll just quickly say this because it really does resonate. And I was invited to this group of this spiritual guru, self-professed expert, and I went into the group before I accepted. It was a public group, and I went through the first 8 posts. Every single one of them were in a negative light. Humans this, humans that, everything was degrading humans, not one positive thing. And I said that. And I said, why is it the first 8 posts of yours are all negative? He was triggered completely. Absolutely triggered. He abused the crap out of me. You don't belong here, blah. Completely triggered. And I just said, okay, my job is done. Thank you very much. Because I knew that I was sent to his page to trigger him into reminding him about acceptance of others not agreeing, about how to accept that other people have their own opinions, and people will trigger you, and learn to control those triggers. So I was sent to him from Spirit simply to trigger him into remembering what he preaches. Okay, so you will experience that too. Many will. Okay, you will be the trigger, and everybody will be the triggered. You cannot get away from that. Okay, so look at life from a physical perspective, from a mental perspective, instead of a physical experience. The physical only gives you the opportunity to experience it from a mental perspective. Okay, that's a really important thing. Control your thoughts and your emotions and your mind, and then you've pretty much got the handle on what physical life is all about. Okay, so I'll go through if I can see. Okay, I'll go through back here. Love seeing my hair. I'm always wearing a hat because I can't control my hair. Okay, let me see. Okay, don't be stupid, Facebook. Let's go. No emails. Yeah, I sent everybody multiple emails. I don't know what happened. If you booked, everybody booked with an email, and that's the email I sent. I must have sent over 250 emails in the last week. I'm just constantly sending them. So many crows and ravens. I know, they're very noisy. Yeah, kangaroo was huge. It was absolutely enormous, and I just sat here and don't move, because they can get quite aggressive. Let's see. When people say do something to trigger you, why do they do this? Okay, why do people say and do things to trigger you? To help you. To help you see what areas in your mental state that you need to look at and heal. It's that simple. It's an opportunity for growth, as long as you're willing to look at it honestly. You have to be honest. This ascension journey is something where if you're not honest with yourself, then you're going to keep on coming back and repeating the same situation. You have to be honest with yourself. That is 100%. Okay, so they're giving you opportunities, and it's usually spirit that sends them, just like I was sent to the gentleman yesterday. Okay. So sometimes I do things following something from within that I don't understand. Could that be something like this? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is all about trusting the guidance within. So when you go within, you can trust that guidance. Okay? You trust it, you follow it. It doesn't always work out to how you would prefer. Sometimes it works out to how you would not prefer, and you get exactly what you don't want. And that's not that you did anything wrong, or that the guidance was wrong, or you didn't listen to your intuition. It's more that you needed that experience for your growth and for you to move forward, rather than just having a really nice, pleasurable experience. Spirit purposely took you down a hard road, and you know, to give you the knowledge, the wisdom and experience you need for something further down the track. So if you follow your intuition and you get exactly what you don't want, then you didn't do anything wrong. It's just you need that experience more than the pleasurable one. Okay. Let's go. Yes, everything happens for your benefit. It absolutely does. Okay, there were some others waiting to enter the room. I have been asking people to get into the room early, that I would not be able to let them in once I started. And unfortunately, the majority of people did leave it until it's too late. So there's nothing I can do about that. I will let them in when they finish, and they can go back and watch it. Yes, I see it wasn't meant to be for you when something doesn't happen or goes your way in life. That's right. Is meditation the way to go to help in the control of the mind? Yes. Meditation is a wonderful tool to learn to control your thoughts and your energy. If you are having trouble meditating and controlling your thoughts, you need to do it more. You absolutely need to do it more. And one way I learn to control my thoughts is I imagine a military soldier standing beside me, and every time my thoughts stray away from what I'm meant to be controlling or thinking of nothing, he's screaming at me. Yes, I laugh. I would have a very terrible time if I was actually in the military, because I find them, when they scream and yell, I find it hilarious. They're triggering me. I don't know why. I just laugh and laugh and laugh. But that is how I learn to control my thoughts. If you can't control your thoughts in meditation, you won't be able to control your thoughts when you're triggered. Okay, so heads up on that. You have to be able to control your thoughts along this ascension journey. And if you're wanting to communicate with the higher dimensional beings, if you can't control your thoughts, that you won't be able to let them in to communicate. You won't be able to hear their messages, hear their communication back to you. Okay, so controlling your thoughts is 100%. Okay, 100% necessary. So meditation is great because it forces you to sit with only your thoughts. Okay, the more you have trouble controlling, the more you need to practice. So don't give up. Can one still believe in omnis? I can't even pronounce that word. If that resonates with a person. Yes, your beliefs are your choices. So I don't believe in God, I believe in consciousness. That doesn't mean you don't believe in God. Okay, it is total. If God, if Jesus, if you being a tree resonates with you, then that is your reality you want to experience. That is the reality that your spirit has chosen for that experience. It doesn't mean it will stay that way all the time. It simply means that you will, you experience the physical life from a different perspective. That's it. Okay, so if something resonates with you, it's meant for you. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's not meant for you. Okay. I'm married to a Royal Dutch Marine paratrooper commando. Lucky he doesn't scream at me. I know, and here I am, I'm wanting to go on SAS Australia with them screaming obscenities at me. It's like, yeah, no, I'd be kicked off very quick. I'll be pulled up for laughing at them. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you have links for the best meditation? No, I don't, because this is my meditation. Okay, nature is my meditation. I have one piece of music that I do when I'm back at the motel, sitting in the bathroom next to the toilet, but I don't follow guided meditation. I simply can't. I never have been able to. Whatever music feels good to you, if that is rap music, if that is purpose meditation music, if that's animal sounds, if that is the waves crashing, if that's rock and roll music, it's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. Whatever resonates with you is best for you. There's no recommended meditations. Some meditations, and I'll cover meditation because that's the next that's the next subject. Meditation can be anything. It can be gardening, it can be doing the dishes, driving the car, going for a hike in the hills, riding a horse, riding a bicycle, or sitting beside a lake, under a tree, closing your eyes like one of those yogis or monks, whatever. Okay, it can be anything. Meditation is anything that gets you in the mood, that gets you in alignment, that puts you in a higher state of awareness. So athletes, when they're focused, when they're absolutely focused on their sport, they are meditating because it puts them into a higher awareness. Okay, that's all meditation is putting you into a controlled higher awareness. That's it. So anything that puts you in that state, like the commando, he would be meditating when he's at work, when he's on a mission. Okay, because he is absolutely in a higher focus, a higher state of mind. Okay, if you want to sit and do a meditation in a room with music, and you can burn your candles and your sage and anything else that you want, that's absolutely fine. Just remember, each meditation you have, they won't all go to the absolute best. Okay, I've had some real shockers, and it's frustrating sometimes. I didn't meditate for 6 months because they were so bad and I didn't get what I want, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But when you are in meditation, really try and use it. Not just sit there and look at a nice red balloon or something, but really try and make it worthwhile. Okay, try and get out of it what you want. If it's not working, then don't beat yourself up. Next time, maybe 10 times better. Okay, but meditation is simply to control your thoughts and to reach a higher, or tune into a higher state of awareness. That's it. Okay, let's go back here. Stop going down again. Walking meditation in the forest, working in the garden, following a guided meditation in my sauna at 4 a.m. Perfect. Perfect. If that works for you, then brilliant. Some people like to go on a country car drive and just look at the scenery. That's a meditation. Okay? If I owned my horse, it would definitely be anything to do with a horse. Exactly. Me too. Me too. Yeah, anything to do with animals, especially horses, is definitely me. Okay. Love music, so different songs make sense at different moods and lifts me to a higher self. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't really resonate with music. Okay, it's not my thing. Listening to the birds and watching the clouds and just sitting under a blue sky, that's me. That gets me in the mood. Whatever gets you in the mood is perfect for you. There's no one way. Okay. What do you do when you go within? That's a good question. And it's one that is not asked or understood very, very much. It differs to everyone. Going within simply means not going or not looking outside of yourself. So it's not if I was to go in now, I would close my eyes most of the time, and I would just imagine myself sitting next to a lake or somewhere that I enjoy, that's peaceful, and I would be looking at, does this resonate with me? Does my situation feel good? Am I doing what I'm passionate and excited about? Am I in alignment with my higher self? Am I happy with who I am? What can I change about me? It's all about your own self-development. It's all about following your own inner guidance and not listening to the crowd, not listening to other people's opinions. It's having your opinion, your beliefs, your feelings, your emotions, your own guidance, without taking into the account of others. Acknowledge others have their own, but going within is really who you truly are. That is the only one you have to listen to is yourself. And it doesn't matter the topic. It does not matter the topic. Even if you've just been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and we say go within. Does surgery resonate with you? Does radiation and chemo resonate with you? You go within, and doctors are telling you, yes, you need to, or you're going to die. But your intuition, your inner self is saying, no. Okay, so it's always trusting what is within you, regardless of what everybody else says. Okay, but again, going within means different things to different people. So take whatever I've said with a grain of salt. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, then let it go. Okay, that's really important. All right, so how are we going for time? 9:30, nearly 9:30. Okay, so we'll do 5 more minutes and then we'll take a break, and then we will just 5-minute break, and then we'll come back. Okay, I feel like I have to concentrate so hard to be able to meditate. I invariably can't stop my mind wandering back to day-to-day thoughts. Okay, Jenny, that's really interesting, because that's exactly what happens when you're learning to control your thoughts. Let the thoughts come. Okay, let them come and let them go. The more you try and fight against those thoughts, the more they will keep nagging at you, because you have those thoughts for a reason. Those thoughts keep coming so that you acknowledge them. Okay, if they're not needed to be acknowledged, they wouldn't come. So allow them to come and see the thoughts, think the thoughts, feel the thoughts, and then let them go. 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 Okay. Okay. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back. So let them go. Let them come. Let them go, and then you'll be able to gain more control. Okay. Let me see. Observe your thoughts, and then what else? Let them go. Yeah. I wonder if parenting can be meditation. I'm pretty focused on that, but that particular thing seems particularly non-meditative. It depends on how the parenting is taking place. Are you running and screaming after toddlers, or are you enjoying time at the movies or at the playground with your kids? Okay, yes, it can be. It absolutely can be a meditative state. Anything that makes you feel good in the moment is a meditative state. Okay, so absolutely parenting can be, the act of parenting can be a meditative state. What are you supposed to think of when meditating, or think nothing at all? That's totally dependent on why you're meditating in the first place. The sun is really bright. I've got a book and a towel, and it's like, whoa, should we be wearing sunglasses? For me, when I meditate, it's always with an absolute purpose. So it'll always be either some communication from higher dimensional beings, or it will be to realign and rebalance my energy, or it will be purposefully to astral travel with a goal in mind. It could be to simply clear my mind and remind myself how to control my thoughts. It depends on the purpose. Okay, it absolutely depends. If you're just wanting to control your thoughts, then it's great to try and empty your mind. Okay, and every time a thought comes, then let it go. Control your mind. Okay, don't think of it, let it go. Okay, so it all depends on what the purpose is of the meditation. Okay, feeling the wind and hearing the wind resonates with me and calms my spirit. 100%. 100%. How can we get in touch with our guides? Okay, mediumship, that is mediumship. Okay, mediumship, you really need to control your mind and your thought, and the best way is through meditation. When you have that control, then you can release control and allow spirit to come into your mind. Okay, so it is a simple process. It is something that many people struggle with because they think that they're giving themselves the information and they're having a chat. What you'll find, you're always chatting with spirit. Spirit's always talking to you. But what you'll actually find is you'll find yourself having a conversation with yourself. So you'll be thinking something, and then you'll have thoughts coming back to you. And most people will interpret that as their own thoughts answering themselves, when in fact it's actually spirit communication. Okay, but yeah, look more into mediumship. Okay, that's an important one. Okay, what do you do when you go within, not going outside of yourself? Am I doing something I'm passionate about? Acknowledge. Absolutely. Okay, so I've already answered that one. Okay, just trying to go through between the sun and the breeze. Okay, for me, parenting may have wonderful meditating moments when I encounter with beautiful little beings. Exactly right. Parenting, depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, can be a form of meditation. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here. Okay, so we'll come back in 5 minutes. Okay, so it is 9:29. So we'll come back at 9:35. So if you need to go to the toilet, get a drink, let the dogs out, tend to the kids, do whatever, go for it. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay.